Trump just single-handedly disarmed the United States sanctions regime, as Donald Trump at a press conference announced that he's dropping oil sanctions in order to ease the pain of the energy crisis.
We're also waiving certain oil-related sanctions to reduce prices. So we have sanctions on some countries. We're going to take those sanctions off until this straightens out.
Donald Trump started this war with Iran on behalf of Israel, but Iran was ready and had countless cards to play, like shutting down the Straits of Hormuz and disabling United States radar systems in the Middle East. Due to Donald Trump's war and Iran's strategic actions, oil prices have skyrocketed, putting massive pressure on Donald Trump and the United States, even by their own allies. This is how Iran forced Donald Trump's hand to drop oil sanctions, greatly benefiting Iranian allies like Russia. But don't get me wrong, this is not only a victory for Putin and Russia, but the entirety of humanity. Did you know that the United States has 1/4 of the world's population under sanctions? Recent studies show that United States sanctions has murdered over 38 million people since the 70s. Just another example of how the United States is the most murderous regime in the world. Iran is liberating the entirety of humanity from the United States Zionist regime. Humanity owes Iran a massive debt of gratitude.
What's poppin'? My friends, my family. We have a special collaboration episode today, so I'm gonna immediately bring my guests in because you guys know I've been having such a great time following the utter embarrassment and dismantling of the United States empire in the Middle East. Hey, fam, those bases are forever gone. Iran has made it clear that, hey, man, there will be no more Zionist presence in our region. And Donald Trump and his administration, they keep saying, oh, don't worry, this war is going to be over any time now to try to save the oil markets. Meanwhile, they are laying down mines in the Straits of Hormuz. The reality of what's happening to U.S. soldiers is being revealed because there's just a recent report that showed that that the media, in coordination with the Trump administration, has not been particularly honest about the amount of soldiers that have been wounded and killed in this conflict. There's reports now that there are over 100 United States soldiers that was wounded in Kuwait. But bro, these are serious injuries. Like the soldiers who didn't die, they're dealing with potentially lifelong injuries and trauma. Like they dealing with burns. A lot of people lost limbs. There's shrapnel wounds. There's a soldier who had a shrapnel fly through his back and rip his liver. Like there's a lot of fucked up shit that these soldiers are dying for the Epstein regime. But let me get my friend Epstein, my friend who break down these Epstein ruling class demons as well. Rathbone, he been killing the game as well. Welcome.
What's up, Nick? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, cool. All right. I was having trouble with my mic a little earlier. Thank you for having me, friend. Did you just say my friend Epstein? Because I just want to let you guys know I'm not Epstein. Nothing.
No, I meant to say my friend who breaks down the crimes of the Epstein regime, but slip of the tongue. What's popping, Rathbone?
Yeah. I really think that man has not meant to monitor this many situations. There are too many. My head has been on a swivel the past 12 days.
I had to get your thoughts because I've been explaining how there's been complete Iran domination by Iran. The United States was only able to accomplish just engaging in terrorism, like murdering school children, bombing critical infrastructure, bombing banks. So I need to get your thoughts on like what your overall breakdown of the Iran war, just to get started. We got a lot to cover here. I'm gonna show you guys some more Israeli panic, but Rathbone, what's your thoughts?
Well, I think it seems to be a catastrophic blunder on part of the United States on behalf of Israel. I think it's going to reshape the entire Middle East region. I think your opening statements were spot on. I think those bases in the Middle East are going to be gone forever. I think that's going to be one of the one of the factors that eventually Iran will be able to succeed in attaining as a cessation to the war. I think that I've also heard that they're not going to stop until Israel vacates from Gaza. Also, I don't know if that's true, but I think it's going really, really badly for the Americans. You see Donald Trump just lying with impunity. I mean, the fact that he blamed Iran for the American attack on that girls' school, even though we know it was a Tomahawk, even though we know that it was an American strike that was double tapping that school. And, if it was a mistake, just own up to the mistake, Mr. President. But the fact that he's just lying with, not even the minimal amount of sophistication is truly cowardly, I think. And, this entire administration is just a bunch of war criminals. And I have to say, the only silver lining in this is watching, the fireworks in Tel Aviv. And now it appears that today Hezbollah has fired 100 missiles into Israel. And I just think, and I see you commenting on Twitter a lot of, your favorite brand of content is Israelis now crying about international law as they're running to the shelter. So it's just they have no sympathy from the rest of the world. And that's basically where we're at this point. So
I was covering how, and you mentioned how like incoherent Trump has been, like the double speak, where Pete Hegseth, he said this war may last for a while, and Trump said we're going to end this war quickly. Then a reporter asked him, will the war end quickly or last a long time? He said it could be both. This, he's panicking. I want to give a reaction to this clip here, because this clip is more examples how incoherent they're not even trying to sell this war. So I want to make sense of this clip here.
Questions, Peter?
Yes. You just said it is a little excursion, and you said it is a war. So which one is it?
Well, it's both. It's both. It's an excursion that will keep us out of a war, and the war is going to be. For them, it's a war. For us, it's
a war to keep us out of a war, Rathbone.
Yeah, he can't. He doesn't even make any sense in his own response. The guy asked him if it's an excursion or is it a war, and he says, "Well, it's both. So it's an excursion and a war that's going to keep us out of a war." He's a walking contradiction, and it's incredibly laughable, if not tragic, given how consequential this clown is on the world stage.
I say it all the time. Compare, like, when you listen to the Iranian foreign minister, when you listen to even just ordinary Iranians talk about this conflict and what at stake, how they battling the Epstein class.
Yeah.
Like they're very eloquent and they're very well read on history. Like we listen to Chinese foreign advisors. When you listen to them break down history, I remember it was a few months ago where I showed this Western reporter grilling this Chinese foreign advisor, like, why are you guys supporting the Russian invasion of Ukraine? Like, hold on, let me explain to you guys the history of NATO expansion. So they're other, I would say the enemies of the United States, their leaders are more well-read. Meanwhile, we got Epstein president here who can't even explain to his people what the hell is going on.
Yeah.
And I want to hear your thoughts on this, because I saw this video. This video is going viral like a motherfucker. And I think this is probably the only I think this is the only useful application of AI art that there's possibly out there. This shit is fucking hilarious to me. Let's play this video. I want to get your thoughts.
A team! Sean! We're going to war, soldier! Well, you are, not me. It's time to get boots on the ground!
It's Jeffrey's War. Are you a pathetic gooner looking for love?
Aren't we all? Well, we've got plenty of ladies.
And they're just waiting for liberation.
All you have to do is beat our challenge.
It's time to roll the die on your lives!
Let's see what these boys won. It's crippling PTSD and higher gas prices! A brand new luxury casket. You answered C, and you are correct. Do you have what it takes to play with Jeff Craig?
We want you to play
Jeff
Craig.
Are you ready to play with Jeff Craig?
Dude.
I've been on record to saying that 99% of AI is complete garbage. We found the 1%, my friends.
We found the 1% of actually AI hallucinations, which are actually telling the truth. You know how they call them hallucinations when they're lying? But this is a lie that I think highlights the truth. And I think you're exactly right. The Epstein class does not have to be truthful. They don't have to be objective. When you confer all the power, when you control all of the institutions in our society, you can be wrong. You can lie with impunity. You have all the power. What does it matter? Whereas on the Iranian side, on the Russian side, on the Chinese side, you have to be very dialectical. And the truth and the objective facts are on your side. So, you can't just lie and make all these kind of errors because it actually matters to you. Whereas with the Epstein class, like, who cares? And I think that Donald Trump actually admitted that they're losing because if you read between the lines of what that clip you just played me, he's saying, yeah, they're fighting a war and we're, basically not. Like, in other words, they're fighting for their survival. It's existential, whereas we're fighting for brunch. We have no real dog in the fight, It's all just absurdity. So I think he's letting you know that we're deeply unserious and they're, the Iranians are the serious ones and they're going to win.
This is absolutely devastating propaganda for the ruling class. You got to realize I've never seen soldiers die in the United States and people like, that was pretty stupid of you to fight for the Epstein class. I think people on the right, Candace Owens, is like, hey, you guys shouldn't be fighting for the Epstein regime. This is devastating, almost game-changing level propaganda that we have on the ruling class ever since the release of the Epstein files.
Yeah, you can't say support our troops anymore. That line doesn't work. It worked in 2003, not in 2026. Now the jig is up,
Hey, I think United States soldiers still have no idea how much aura they lost.
Yeah.
After the Epstein files was released. And you're like, man, you guys was exposed.
Dude, what are you fighting for, man? Like, at this point, I can't believe there's not an MUTINY in the armed forces. It'd be your duty, that's what when you're given illegal orders to follow, you're supposed to descend. Anyway,
this talking point is so devastating against the empire, Rathbone, that they're now accusing people of anti-Semitism. And we mentioned how this is Operation Epstein theory. Like, Washington Post reports that referring to the U.S. war against Iran is Operation Epstein theory is anti-Semitism.
When are Zionists going to learn that they need to take all the tactics that they have, compile them, and throw them away? All the organizations we've learned too much. We've noticed too much. We're too educated now. You can't go crying anti-Semitism. It only makes you look worse.
They are in panic mode, my friend. They're in panic mode. Like, new memo went out. The phrase Epstein class is now Iranian propaganda.
That's true. Dr. Morandi says Epstein class. So it's weird that Epstein class, that's Iranian propaganda, but it originated in the United States, I guess, through Iranian proxy cells. Maybe.
Bro, it's wild how Jeffrey Epstein, just like that, became our generation's Hitler. You know how, like, the boomer Gen X generation, the worst person you can be compared to and be accused of being loyal to is Hitler. You're like, don't you know that Ronald Reagan is the next Hitler? Oh my God, that's so offensive. Now we're like, you're an Epstein. Like, this is a game changer, dude. In Russian propagandists, they've been having a field day with this. Mm-hmm. How do you guys think the politicians, I was about to say in like the enemies of our country, but even like our allies are starting to say, like, if you listen to Spain, if you listen to Lula in Brazil, he mentions the Epstein class. it's devastating. That's why they gotta smear Americans as being anti-Semitic or being some sort of traitor. And that's what this memo is about. It's about trying to explain how Americans are traitors.
It's really crazy, man. Now that I'm talking about it with you, it's like the class war went global. You know, we have new conditions. You know, we have internet. I feel pretty privileged to be able to do this on a nightly basis where we're talking with people across the world, you know, and get, you know, educating and also learning. And I think it's a death sentence for the capitalist class, you know, or the Epstein class. And it's just, you know, Epstein has come to embody all of the filth and depravity that this political economy lauds and admires and rewards and incentivizes. So it's wild to be like, yeah, we stand with the Iranians because they're actually on the right side of the global class war.
The goyim is uniting.
That's also another word they're trying to say. That's a you can't say that word. It's like, that's our word now. You know.
I remember a day. Do you remember, Rathbone? I think you're old enough to remember when anti-Semitism used to mean like you hated Jews.
Yeah.
Like, being like, oh, you fucking Jew.
Yeah.
Like I make a strong argument that anti-Semitism is dead. Like it was murdered over those decades of propaganda, Holocaust propaganda. There's no fucking anti-Semitism. But back in the day, I could see like motherfuckers like, you fucking Jew.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like no one. That was meant to be anti-Semite, someone who hated the Semitic people. Now it's anyone who exposes their bullshit, anyone who says anything that makes them uncomfortable, anyone who noticed their criminal deeds. That's why I've been aggressive to the point where I'm willing to lose left support. I've been willing to lose friends. Luckily, it didn't come to that. 'Cause I'm like, bro, leftists who legitimize anti-Semitism hoax, you are aiding and abetting fascism.
Yeah.
Like, and I have zero tolerance for it now. Like, I'm from the age. I don't know about you guys. I remember the age of the new atheist left, where there was like leftists who would like criticize like Christian nationalism and religion. Then now all of a sudden, you're not allowed to criticize the fact that there's this institution that is silent as there are people who are slaughtering school children. How many synagogues? Quick question, fam. How many synagogues came out and condemned that terrorist attack on a bunch of school children? Fam, you guys realize that after 9/11, every single Muslim organization was forced to put out a statement, and many of them did forcefully. Every time there's like any sort of CIA-funded terrorist attack, you had a group of Muslims who was like, yo, we don't condemn this. We believe in peace. We are a religion of, we condemn this. We are a religion of peace. Not only did they condemn, once again, CIA-sponsored terrorists, they took up arms against them. They took up arms against people who slandered the name of Islam. Where are the massive Jewish organizations taking up arms against the state of Israel? And these politicians, I feel like these are questions we should be allowed to ask. And in my position, for especially at least for the last few years now, legitimizing this anti-Semitism hoax is it will lead us directly to the road of fascism that has gone on in Australia, where there's an 18-year-old girl who's about to go to prison for 2 years for wearing a shirt that says "to the river, to the sea." You know what happened in Australia? The left in Australia fucked up, Rathbone, and they were like, yeah, I think anti-Semitism is a real problem, guys. That's what Zohran Mamdani is doing. That's why NYPD, they cracking down on anti-Semitism, the IHRA definition. But Rathbone, what's your thoughts?
Well, I was just thinking as you were saying all that meanwhile, Iranians were holding vigils in the wake of 9/11 on behalf of the victims. They took no pleasure in seeing that happen. And, you know, this whole idea of anti-Semitism, I always say that, it's not real unless it has institutional leverage over your private life, you know, and there's really no evidence for that when it comes to being Jewish. In fact, that's usually an advantage to have access to opportunities, career opportunities, education opportunities, financial opportunities. You can't point to you know, the Jewish people as being subjected to being undermined institutionally because of their Judaism. So therefore, I don't believe that we live in an anti-Semitic world, actually, in the context of what that word means.
I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah.
The only anti-Semitism I acknowledge is the crimes against the Palestinians.
Yes.
Who are actually Semitic, and there's only one other instance of anti-Semitism I acknowledge, and that is the anti-Semitism that is shown against anti-Zionist Jews by their own Jewish brothers and sisters and Christian Zionists.
That's a great point too.
When I say this, I understand why people reflectively react this way when they hear this rant I just gave to you guys. When they're like, Nick, what about the anti-Zionist Jews? I'm like, bro, I'm standing up for them.
Yeah.
I'm not condemning anti-Zionist Jews. They're trying their best, fighting against a murderous community who ostracize them, they sanction them, and they retaliate against them and ruin their life. So, fam, my rant has nothing to do with anti-Zionist Jews. And I understand why. Every once in a while, people are like, Nick, come on, man, you can't say that. Don't you know we got anti-Zionist? Yes, they are victims too. And seeing how they are treated by their own community makes me upset at the Jewish community even more, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it never occurred to me that there's a connection between being Jewish and starving children. But in the face of those two options, I'm gonna pick feeding children is more important than being Jewish.
This is though you know they're victims now, Rathbone. This is they went from we are the lions of the Middle East.
Oh, look at this guy.
Do you remember when they were like, no one ever gonna fuck with the Jews ever again? They were talking all this shit when they was bombing
children.
Yeah, bombing children,
hospitals,
bombing people without a legitimate air force.
Yeah.
Like in Gaza.
Yeah, exactly.
When bombing people who have been robbed of a state, who haven't been able to build a proper military, all of a sudden they're lions. And then they pick a fight with the real alpha lion in the region, and now they are pretending that they're victims.
I just tweeted this that I think that the Israelis, they're caught between a rocket and a hard place. You know, on one hand, they have to present themselves as rising, roaring lions, strength and power and peace through strength, and they're unbothered by all of these Iranian ballistic missiles. But at the same time, they're also eternal victims, and we should feel sympathy for them because they're helpless. So it's like, what do you do at this situation? It's cognitive dissonance.
Have you seen how glorious it's been on Hebrew Twitter? I did a segment yesterday just showing a little bit of the suffering the Israeli people are going through. Now they're actually fighting a state that can defend itself like Iran. This is a guy that I'm love. This person is mad as fuck because this person's been tweeting. Like all the goys been retweeting them.
And you know it's honest because this is a translation from Hebrew, and they always speak very honestly when they're talking amongst themselves.
If you want to find this meltdown, look up the Hebrew word for Netanyahu or Iran, and then type it into the search bar, and then filter it by latest, and you will see a bunch of Israelis speaking honestly because they think that Western people are not hearing them. This is and I did a whole segment covering examples of this. This is our wonderful country, which has turned into an open war zone for Iranian missiles because of Netanyahu's policy and his extremist group who brought all this destruction upon Israel and its citizens. And I also been extremely careful, Rathbone, because I don't know if you know, there's been a lot of bullshit spreading around on X. People desperate for likes, sharing fake shit. I'm pretty sure this is real. If an Israeli is sharing this,
it's a constant battle trying to determine what's real and what's fake.
Yeah, bro. People be pissing me off, bro. Like I never had to lie to make the empire look bad. So I always gotta be careful,
right?
Because other people they just. I caught so many people posting like old war footage, like old ass shit in different areas. I'm like, you guys are just making my job harder. God, we got to straighten up.
Yeah, there's definitely a double standard when it comes to speaking on behalf of the empire and speaking against the empire. And when you're speaking on behalf of the empire, you can lie, obviously, with impunity. And when you're speaking against the empire, you really have to dot your fucking I's and cross your T's and get every little statistic. If you're off by a centigrade or whatever, there's just a double standard. So yeah, I mean, we'll get lambasted for showing something that might, be AI images, but it's exposing what's, it's a theme of what's happening right now in Tel Aviv, especially.
Yeah, I try to be very careful. I try to do my due diligence, and that goes. It's almost like I explained it before. It's much harder to be a Marxist citizen journalist, an anti-imperialist citizen journalist, because you gotta study hundreds of years of history. You gotta know the history of the Middle East. You gotta be ready to combat every single brain dead talking point from the empire. And then we would be debating with dumb shit libs. You know what they gotta do? The only thing they have to do is listen to Rachel Maddow and to repeat what she said. The level of effort it takes to argue on our behalf. We will study the history of Palestine. We will quote all these resources, and then some dipshit liberal like, don't you know that?
The New York Times said this, but according to the IDF,
like they wear us out, man, because their job is so much easier than ours.
Exactly, and they have all the resources too.
Yeah, very well said. Back to the Jewish meltdown that is going on right now, and the consequences that they're facing. This clip has gone platinum. I don't know if you covered this on your channel. You cover a lot.
Yeah. No, I haven't seen this. Oh yeah. No, I did.
I'm like, I know Rathbone probably covered this, but we have to discuss this because I saw this. This came out like a few days ago. Like, yep, I'm saving this for the Rathbone show. Look, this video in particular, and this video was spreading everywhere on social media. This post in particular got 13.4 million views. So this has gone all over the world. This happened in France. And there's this pattern of these Jewish supremacists faking anti-Semitic attacks. And I'm sorry, before I ran, let me play the video first. If you all know what I'm talking about.
For real.
I don't realize I found one the slow down version. This is not full speed. The reason why they slowed this video down is because they're trying to show how he wasn't attacked at all. Yeah. I need to find a full speed version, also, but I think you guys get the point that they're making it.
Oh,
right.
Definitely. Yeah.
Oh, I'm telling you guys right now, these people are lucky they're in France, because if they was in America, these cops would start whooping their ass over because American police, they're all for being tricked by the Jew, but the French police officers, if you notice, the French police officers, they're like, "What are you doing, you dumb motherfucker? We know you're faking this." The difference between the French police officers and American police officers is outstanding, because they are not playing this shit at all. Meanwhile, if this happened in the NYPD, nigga, they will beat everyone's ass in the audience that's there because they fall for these Jew tricks all the time.
I especially like how this chicken swinger thinks he's the director of his own footage here. Be like, what is? Are they just going to cut out the part where before he was acting fine? It's like action. Okay, now he can cry about it. It's like, dude, we were filming you like minutes before. Clearly nothing happened to you.
Yeah, there's actually a longer version that shows him harassing them, kicking at them, trying to provoke them to do something to him.
Yeah.
And when they didn't, he engaged in a anti-Semitic false flag. And I'm in my 30s. I've been doing this for some time now. About 6 years, 7 years, and I've been following politics way longer than that. I didn't start doing this a few years ago. You guys know how many times I've seen this? Are we not supposed to acknowledge this pattern? Do you guys remember Jesse Smollett? Jesse Smollett faked an anti-black attack, and white people never let us live it down for years. Bro, they never let us live that shit down, and that's the one person who faked the anti-black attack. Bro, there's dozens of these videos, and I have seen dozens of these videos throughout the years.
Meanwhile, there's a Jussie Smollett of a country out there in the Middle East, literally.
Oh yeah, and by the way, this lady right here, this lady who reflectively,
yeah, what was that?
This
like,
lady who
please.
reflectively defend the Jew.
Yeah, please leave DJ alone.
People like this fucking drive me goddamn crazy. And
Karen.
This person is going to be personally responsible for why we have a rise in fascism in the West. Like, look at this fucking Karen piece of shit. They are exposing the Jewish supremacists and engaging in a psyop that is meant to rob the free speech rights of people in the West. Rathbone, you killing me. You know, you guys see the fascist defense force by the Karen. This is hilarious. People like her, like I don't know if I'm overreacting here, but she's like, people like this is almost as dangerous as the fascists because they enable it. They enable the fascism with their pacifism bullshit. Come on, guys, don't expose this guy who obviously
trying
to get the sticked on you.
Thank God the Jews have this leopard skin Karen cougar defending them on the front lines.
Once again, if we did a video showcase of like all these examples, we'd be here so long. But this is another example. Look, you see how they're ripping their clothes?
Oh yeah, we saw this one too.
Look, Israeli settlers ripping their clothes to make it look like they were attacked by Palestinians. And then once they was caught, you can see his eyes like fuck. They caught us doing some Jew shit. So the only thing I'm saying is,
her nose
are
looks
we
like a finger.
supposed to mention that this is like something they can? How? I have questions more than anything else. Like how? Why are there so many of them doing this? Is this something that you guys are trained to do? Like, do you guys learn how to rip the shirt in Hebrew school? Are we not allowed to ask these kind of questions? Because to me, I'm very curious on why this kind of stuff keep happening to the point where you guys have plans. Like you see the old guy. The old guy is instructing them how to look rip the shirt like this. Yeah, no, stop! Stop noticing us.
Oh my God, they're such bad actors. Oh, and it gets worse.
Oh, you guys realize I can do a 2-hour live stream if I just do some research. If I dive into Google search advanced engine and search by year, and bro, I can do a 2-hour live stream on this kind of shit alone.
What is happening?
So my question is, how do you live with yourself after showing this level of shame?
Yeah. Bro's got a bad case of like, I don't know, the worst fire ant that bit him. Or I mean, what could explain? I mean, it's like he's being lit on fire or something, but he's not. What could explain such noises?
So, am I not allowed to ask what is going on here? Like, it's coordinated? Because once again, I showed you guys the 3 most recent examples I've seen. I could easily keep going with these fake ass attacks that they're doing. So, what is this? Do they meet at Jewish school and discuss how we have to fake being attacked so we can pass laws to crack down on free speech?
That's a
you want to know who fought for this shit? Despite all these videos of these motherfuckers faking attacks, the left, the dipshit left. You got people like Zohar Mamdani. Well, anti-Semitism is a scourge to the level of Islamophobia. Now the NYPD is whooping Palestinians, pro-Palestinian protesters' ass in New York. But I guess you guys are happy because you got free buses, though, right? The free buses are worth the beatdowns you guys are getting.
And a grocery store.
Are they actually building that?
I don't know. I saw something about it being opened. Who knows?
Good for them. Good for them. Am I also not allowed to notice this, Rathbone? Hopefully I don't get you in trouble, man.
Well, noticing is apparently a dog whistle for anti-symmetricisms. So you just got to be careful. I mean, No, I don't care. I say I call my stream the noticing. You know, I mean, what?
Yeah, I know what you're down for. I gotta be a little bit more careful though because
Yeah, no, I know.
we bullshit, man. I'm looking at the synonyms for noticing. Yeah, have you guys ever looked at the synonyms?
Let's talk about it. Is there other ways we could say this?
The
art of
synonym of noticing is like conscious. Let me see. Let me put synonym.
Yeah, let's look at this.
Observing, perceive, to note. So if you note something that the Jewish people do, if you're able to discern
something of note,
if you're able to discern, or if you're able to spot anything, so
I'm
when
detecting.
you hear people, you guys see why I'm doing this, because whenever you see people say stupid shit like this, like the ADL, if the ADL is going to say that noticing is anti-Semitic, all right, what's the synonym of that? What are you guys actually saying? You guys are essentially saying having massive awareness in understanding what's going on around you. So a goyim who can perceive, looking at one of these words here, if you're a goyim who's able to perceive, you're anti-Semitic.
The great discernment is afoot.
To catch sight of, make out, so this is what they don't want the goyim to do. So I don't know about you guys. I don't know if you're on the same wavelength as me, but whenever they tell me not to do something, I'm gonna lean a little bit more into that. That's what I'm gonna do. And what we have noticed, especially since the release of the Epstein files, is how many Israelis, like, this is us observing something here. This is us perceiving something. We are detecting. We are discerning something. To look at the synonyms. The
Pattern recognition.
The amount of Israelis that keep being caught in sex trafficking. What is that about? Look, Alexander brothers found guilty of sex trafficking.
And these are like big time real estate agents or something in New York City, and they all happen to be dual citizen Israelis. Is that what I'm understanding?
This shit's dark, man. This is dark. Like, what is going on here? What is going on? Because now we know that Epstein, he had direct ties to the Mossad. He was working. Ehud Barak. Yeah, sorry, I was blank on his name. He was working directly under Ehud Barak. And he was directly tied to Mossad. That was established in the Epstein files. Now I'm a believer that he was smuggled out of his cell, because why would the Mossad get rid of one of their most important assets and punish him? Like, there's a lot of speculation that he's still alive. Like, he's clearly had intelligence assets. So what is that about? What is that? And then you see this, like, I'm not making any conclusive conclusions here, but it seemed like a systemic problem. It seemed like a systemic problem of Jewish supremacists keep engaging, using their wealth, the massive wealth they gain, to engage in sex trafficking, because a lot of the most extreme version of Judaism, a lot of them say that it's not a crime if you rape a non-goyim. That's what, like, the Epsteins believe. That's what these people believe. And that is why the world is starting to lash out. Like, this is like this new trend of people calling out Israelis, because people are seeing the crimes these people are committing. This is not in English, but I think you can get the Bible.
Where from? Where from? New York. The original. Where? The original where? Brooklyn. Oh. Where you from? Non-video. What the fuck? Free Palestine, fucker. Sure. Free Palestine. We'll see what we can do.
So I don't know what this guy is saying, but you guys see Free Palestine. Free Palestine. So people are seeing Israelis all over the world, and there's a new trend of this. And they're like, hey, Free Palestine.
Free Palestine, fucker. Free Palestine. Free Palestine, fucker. Free Palestine. Free Palestine. Free Palestine, fucker. Motherfucker. Free Palestine.
Yeah.
Free Palestine, shit. Hey, no video. Free Palestine.
How are you? Where are you from?
Free Palestine.
Yes.
Free Palestine, fucker. Shut up. Hey.
Fucking talk.
Hey.
I'll fucking kill you.
No speaking, you fucker. No speaking. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up! Shut up, you fucker! Go! Shut up! Free Palestine, bitch! Free Palestine!
Bitch.
Free Palestine!
I can warn you.
Free Palestine!
I warn you!
Motherfucker! Motherfucker!
They realize he's not a child. If
Do
he was
you
a child,
know who my dad is?
Sorry.
My dad's a lawyer.
Hope
right.
they're ready for more of this. There's consequences for engaging a mass slaughter of children.
Yeah, Norman Finkelstein put it aptly. He said, accepting baby killers into your society is a desecration of the dead, and I can never unsee that.
Norman is base as fuck.
Yeah.
Norman is extremely base. Let's read some super chats, and then I have another short story. I don't want to keep it too long because I know you put a lot of work in.
Oh, it's
put a
cool,
lot of
man.
work
It's good to see you.
Yeah,
And,
it's always, you definitely gotta do this more often. I'm having a great time. Let's read some super chats. We got super chats on both channels. Feel free if you want to respond to any of them. I'm gonna use this as a quick intermission,
yeah,
and I'm gonna show you guys what the EU is saying and why I unapologetically root for Vladimir Putin. Like, you know how Russia and you know how the neocons accuse Russia of continuing past Ukraine, and we all know that's bullshit. We all know that Putin has no plans to invade Europe. Kind of wish he did. kind of wish he did, because Kaja Kallas, you know who she's attacking, Rathbone, as the United States and Israel's bombing school children, engaging in the biggest chemical attack in history. They're sanctioning Iran. So we're gonna get to the EU. That's our next segment.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But before we get to that, I'm gonna read a few super chats. Rathbone, if you want to chime in, feel free. Let me know, man. Just jump in.
Go ahead.
My
Do
two
your thing,
favorite
bro.
dudes. Yeah, Rathbone. It's always fun having them on, man. Wish you guys do this more often. You two are best in the business. Absolutely.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely. It's always fun. Fun having the homie Rathbone. We definitely gotta do this more often. Speaking of that 1% of great AI, have you seen Jake GTV latest vid? I don't know who that is, but I'm sure it's a banger. I'm sure it's a banger. Dude, that Epstein video was one of the funniest shit. That's like legitimately one of the only times I ever watched AI, and I was
that Epstein video that we watched, Nick, it sort of reminded me of Jake GTV.
I think is that the guy who do the news report?
Yeah.
I know who that guy is.
Yeah.
I didn't know my name like that. I think I know who that is.
Right.
Yeah, he had a few good ones I've seen. I don't follow their catalog, but I think I've seen probably one or two of them. Look, Jake T. They are Twitter. I might look it up. See his latest.
Yeah,
vid.
he's on YouTube and Twitter and Instagram and all that.
Crazy how none of these buildings being hit in the Middle East are falling like the Twin Towers. Have you seen Rathbone? If you haven't, I don't blame you, because I don't know, maybe I'm just a fucking masochist or whatever. Because CNN and MSNBC, their propaganda, I believe, on the Iran war is as bad as Fox News, if not worse. Every time they talk about the bombing of the schoolgirls in Iran, they keep pretending it was an accident. They will say this is an unfortunate side effect of war.
Yeah,
motherfucker, they bombed dozens of schools. Since the start of the war.
I don't understand. How do they get away with saying it's a mistake? They bombed 13 hospitals, 5 schools, a whole slew of UNESCO World Heritage sites. The list goes on and on. I mean, they've murdered over 1,000 civilians in Iran. I mean, that might be low at this point, that estimate. And I think it was like something like 10,000 sites, civilian sites we've bombed, Americans and Israelis. So I don't understand how they say that.
So they say we are anti-Semitic. We're calling this the Great Epstein War. that what the Iranians, they call it. Obviously, the war against the Great Satan, the Epstein War. But if they wanted to prove that this is not the Epstein War, you want to know what you don't do after it was revealed that you engage a rape and mass murder of children? The first thing the Epstein soldiers did in order to prove the world wrong that they're not representing Epstein is murdering a bunch of school children.
That is such a good point. Operation Epstein Fury, what did it begin with? Bombing an elementary girls' school. Nice. Exactly what we expect from Jeffrey Epstein. Thank you.
Just for a Rathbone audience, so you guys know, I think people on my channel know, the only reason I laugh is so I'm not crying. Like
Yeah.
just laughing. That's the only way. Because I've been heartbroken ever since I've seen this story.
Oh,
I've been. You guys see how that Jewish supremacist guy, he was trying to edge that crowd into attacking them. I don't know how we'll handle these situations, guys, because I'm so furious. I'll probably fuck that guy up. I'll probably give him what he wants. You guys don't want me in that situation. I'm not the guy. I don't have the temperament to be in these because I'm almost on site with these people, man. I'm almost on site with these people. Thank God I don't live around Israelis. I live out in the middle of nowhere in Missouri. They're not Israelis where I live. At least I don't think they are. They motherfuckers be hiding. I'm an internet. At least I don't think I am. Let's move on. Incoming false flag attack to force compliance. Have you guys seen the report? I might spend too much time on these damn super chats alone. Have you guys seen the report of the FBI warning the West Coast in California of a suspected terrorist attack? Very specific area. Bro, Trump, Jared Kushner, and the Jewish supremacist scum in our government, they're about to murder a bunch of Americans because they see public sentiment so low in the war in Iran. Rathbone, have you seen that report?
I did. There's a report coming out that you said it from the FBI saying that Iran is planning to attack Los Angeles, apparently.
Yeah, let's see if I can find an article. Iran.
And meanwhile, while you're looking for that, Iran has said that is a malicious lie, of course. Like, they have no plans to attack the United States infrastructure. But this story just seems to really be conveniently promoted. Yeah, there it is.
Dude, you guys realize that Iran, they have no reason to do this because they already won over American public sentiment.
Exactly, yeah.
Not only do they already win over American public sentiment, they are dominating the United States when it comes to military objectives. So why would they do this? This is what the West want you to believe about our enemies, that they are so reckless, they are so stupid, like Gaddafi, how he would have a gas attack. These people, they always claim that our enemies are dumb and make these massive mistakes that will try to legitimize action. Like, attack on the homeland will be a massive strategic mistake by Iran. But I want to get that out first. But you guys realize that if Iran did, and they won't, but if they did launch an attack on the United States, that's very legitimate, right?
It's like a little bit our fault, you might think.
You realize that there are so if Iran, sorry for my New York homies, if they carpet bomb Madison Square Garden, they will be justified. That is what the United States is doing to Tehran. That is war. I'm just telling you guys that they're not going to do that because it's unnecessary.
We're dropping 2-ton bombs, 2-ton payloads on Tehran right now. I've seen these videos. It's just indistinguishable, just wanton destruction. There's no justification for it. We're committing war crimes every day.
Epstein has.
Excuse me?
What?
That is a malicious lie. I think
that's a crazy comment. I know I said something crazy earlier, but that's a crazy comment.
I think they're trolling me.
Yeah, I get trolls too. They're always funny. They're funny.
Yeah.
Neighbor 1007. You can't spell liar without Israel. I mean, someone trolled me like, Nick, stop wearing these fucking striped shirts. I'm like, God damn. Sorry. I'm like, you know what I'm gonna wear more striped shirt just because someone said that. So I'm gonna bring my striped shirt on today.
Don't let them shame you. Don't let the chat.
They crack me up, bro. Kansas City is a city full of shit talking, bro. In high school, I got my feelings. We hurt each other's feelings all the time. There's nothing that people on the internet that can say that can really affect me. I think it's funny a lot of times. Bro, they will. I remember going to high school. I don't know Gen Z like this, bro. But if you came to school tacky or musty with a bad hairline, you're gonna come home with your feelings hurt. So I go on YouTube and you guys will crack on me sometimes. Like, yeah, that's kind of what I grew up with. That's what it was. My point is, lighten up, guys. It's okay to laugh at yourself. You guys know there are people who got mad at me for joking about a fascist. Don't be that people. Don't be that kind of person. You know what I mean? Have fun and laugh at yourself. Don't take yourself too seriously. You can't spell liar without Israel. It's not all of them, but it's always them. Well said. I'll read probably two more of these. Then I'll move on. I'll say the rest of the super chats after this segment because we're gonna do a quick segment on EU and Iran. Rathbone, just let me know how you doing on time. I know you got a lot going on. Just let me know how you're doing. We got probably gonna do another segment, maybe two.
Yeah, that's fine. I can stick around for a little bit longer. Yeah, I'm supposed to do a collab with Suleiman on Twitter.
Maybe if I see him in profile picture, I might know that.
Well, anyway, but no, we're good.
All right, bet. So this is what I want to cover. You guys know how Kaja Kallas. She's probably one of the worst diplomats, worst.
Oh yeah, I think I know her.
We cover her a lot on my channel. What's the best way to describe her? Like, imagine if Kamala Harris was responsible for speaking on behalf of an entire continent on foreign policy. That's Kaja Kallas, and even like that's not even the best example because she is so dim. She is so stupid. It's unbelievable. Like, we were just talking about the difference between like an Iranian foreign minister and Kaja Kallas. I don't know if you've seen the clip where Kaja Kallas was like, why would Russia and China celebrate the victory of World War II? Didn't we win that? Hey, what did Russia and China have to do with World War II? You mean Russia who defeated the Nazis? I don't know. I'm just letting you know who she is, Rathbone. She didn't know who won World War II, and she's one of the top EU diplomats, fam. And she had this speech where she was like, guys, I'm learning on the job. I was reading some history and learned some interesting things. That's what the job about. We're just gonna learn on the job. Like, bitch, you are the top diplomat of the EU.
It's like 5th grade history lesson.
Either way, look, this is what she's a fucking Nazi, by the way. You had Iran that was attacked during negotiations by the West in a blatant violation of international law. But you want to know what the fascists in the EU, who they are sanctioning? They're not sanctioning the people who murdered over 160 school children. They're not sanctioning the state that literally slaughtered over 700,000 Palestinians in Gaza. You know that they're using white phosphorus, Rathbone, in Lebanon? Do you guys know what white phosphorus does to you? It burns you alive. It burns your skin to the bone, and it burns the air around you. So you literally suffocate in hellfire. It's one of the worst ways to die. It's why it's a flagrant war crime to use it. And this is what Israel been using against Lebanon and slaughtering Lebanese children and civilians using these white phosphorus bombs. It's one of the most grotesque crimes against humanity that is not spoken about. But Kaja Kallas in the EU, they're not sanctioning that, Rathbone. This is what they're saying. The EU continues to hold Iran accountable. Today, EU member state ambassadors approved new sanctions targeting 19 regime officials and entities responsible for serious human rights violations. As the Iran war continues, the EU will protect its interests and pursue those responsible for domestic repression. It also sends a message to Tehran that Iran's future cannot be built on repression. And she got racial sorry, go ahead, Rathbone.
I'm reading it. I was just saying such spinelessness. And it's like the same. It just becomes evident to me that the same supranational shadow government that pulls the strings on these state actors like Donald Trump, it's the same. That's the same entity that controls the EU. Because this is just indefensible.
Now, do you guys see why I root unapologetically for rooting Putin in Russia over the EU? I never told you guys that Russia was perfect, but they're not a fucking continent ran by genocidal Nazis.
Right.
I guess that's my version of lesser two evilism, I guess. Because I 100% want Russia to take over the EU. They won't because they're not warmongers. That's the neocon lie that Putin's gonna go past Ukraine, when Russia has made it clear that they wouldn't. I'm like, guys, can you please fuck all these motherfuckers up? Fuck them. They are horrific. Because they're not just Kaja Kallas. You have the entirety of EU fascists siding with Israel, the Blackrock Prime Minister. Have you seen this, Rathbone? Here's the Blackrock Prime Minister of Germany. You know, they pretend they're democracies. Meanwhile, they got rid of the middleman. Usually the capitalists would like influence and corrupt the government. Fam, Germany is such a capitalist dictatorship. They're like, nah, fuck that middleman shit. We're going to have a BlackRock executive be our prime minister.
BlackRock Prime Minister? Is that your characterization? Because that's pretty good.
Yeah, I've been calling him that for about 2 years now.
Good.
I barely know his name, Friedrich Merz. I say his name like probably once every few months. He's the BlackRock Prime Minister. You want to know what he said? Let's big screen this. Let's play it. I shut up. Let's play it.
Der russische Krieg gegen die Ukraine steht nämlich dem Unrecht des iranischen Regimes in nichts nach. Moskaus Überfall auf einen friedlichen Nachbarn ist genauso wenig zu rechtfertigen wie der Terrorkrieg, den Teheran seit Jahren gegen Israel führt.
He says Tehran has been waging war against Israel. So the BlackRock Prime Minister of Germany is painting Israel as the unjust victims of attacks when they started the war in Iran. They literally started the war, but they're painting Israel as the victims. The same with the EU putting sanctions on Iran. And this is also, I'm sure this as well. Here, Kaja Kallas attacking Hezbollah for defending themselves against Israeli aggression. Look, Hezbollah's decision to attack Israel in support of Iran, ignoring the fact that Israel has been invading Lebanon for around 14 to 16 months, ignoring the fact that they committed massive war crimes,
ignoring the fact that Hezbollah, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but ignoring the fact that
interrupt anytime, man. I know
Hezbollah was created because of the Israeli occupation. That was why they formed. So, the whole thing's just batshit crazy, upside down.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, whenever we do these streams, feel free to cut me off. I know I talk to them much.
No,
I got a lot on my head. If you just want to jump in, feel free to jump in.
We love your rants.
Yeah, for sure. I appreciate you guys. But look, this is crazy. Like, you guys understand the depth of hate I have for Europe? Because they're every step of the way in the genocidal actions of the United States and Israel. Hezbollah's decision to attack it. She said nothing for months. For months. You guys want to know what she's supporting? You have these Israeli leaders, and once I can show you guys a ton of videos like this. You guys know that they are forcibly replacing over 500,000 Lebanese have been displaced in just a few months because settlers are openly discussing how they plan to implement the Greater Israel Project and take over Lebanon to accomplish their dream of having a promised land. And this person here, I've seen her quite a few times. I don't think we can even understand. Look at this. She's calling for a mass. Look, Israeli settler leader Dinella Weiss says that Israel is ready to settle Lebanon and the entire promised land. So do you guys know that they have these settler leaders? Like, their activism is about increasing the amount of settlements. That's what Ben Shapiro used to do. Like, Ben Shapiro, he had this tweet in like 2012 where he explained how settlements rock. Do you guys remember that? Settlements rock. Let's play the video. I want to get your thoughts.
We will settle Gaza. We will settle Lebanon. We will settle the entire promised land. Thank you very much.
And 5 people clap. She's the worst. I hope she's huddled in a bunker right now, crying her eyes out to the soundtrack of Iranian missiles.
I was about to say, I gotta be careful on your channel, but I hope she gets what she deserves. I hope for her what they want for the Palestinians. I'm gonna just say that.
That's a good way of putting it.
This is another tweet from my good friend Sarah here. This is the white phosphorus attacks I'm discussing. And it was targeting civilian areas.
Look at that. Holy shit. So you really get a good look of it right there. I've never seen
I actually gotta be kind of careful because I know YouTube don't like us showing this kind of stuff.
Yeah, true.
But here's like a still video. You guys see this is the evidence. I got in trouble with that before.
I have to.
So there's a white phosphorus attacks that they're engaged in Lebanon, while Europe is unapologetically standing in support and providing cover for the United States and Israel as they wage a war of aggression. You have Ursula von der Leyen, who recently put out a statement which is batshit crazy. So imagine you have an ally, Rathbone, who bombed and killed 160 school children in the largest act of slaughter of school children in recorded history. And then your allies also engage in a chemical attack, burning the skies of Iran, and probably the largest chemical attack in human history. So after seeing all these war crimes that your allies are committing, Rathbone, you as a leader, Ursula von der Leyen, she comes out and says, the EU can no longer rely on the rules-based system. So you know all those war crimes our friends are committing? Fuck, it don't matter. We don't need a rules-based system against threats. So you realize this quote by Ursula von der Leyen, this is her declaring war against international law itself. If you're the United States, if you're Israel, you can do whatever you want to your enemies, and if you respond, they will use their financial and economic might to implement sanctions on you. So do you guys see why Vladimir Putin is doing humanity a great favor by demilitarizing Europe, which he has done? One of the reasons why the United States is struggling to combat against Iran is because Russia demilitarized the United States and decreased the munitions. That's why they got to take their bases out of Southeast Asia in order to defend themselves from Iran.
Don't you?
And
think
that's why I want to do even more. But go ahead, Rathbone.
Don't you think that Europe is going to get burned and they're going to be left holding the bag? And that I'm reminded of Henry Kissinger's quote that it's bad to be an adversary to the United States, but it's fatal to be an ally to the United States. And I think that's what we're seeing. We start this war with Iran. Now Iran has closed the Strait of Hormuz. A lot of the gas and oil that Europe depends on can no longer have access to.
Yeah.
And they're going to have to go ask Russia, who they just, are ostensibly involved in a war against, So it looks like they're made out to be pretty foolish at this moment. I don't know why they're doubling down on it. Like, why still, be allied? But it's because of who these people are paid by. There's no sense of nationalism anymore. It's superseded by this informal network, the Epstein Class, the very powerful private individuals that populate the finance system, the heavy industry, the governments of the powerful governments of the world, et cetera, et cetera. And I just when I see these public facing actors, because that's what they are, when I hear their rhetoric, I ultimately have to think about that class analysis of what is this serving, who is benefiting by this rhetoric, and who's paying these people to say this and keep that facade up.
Europe has no sovereignty. You got to realize that the United States have no sovereignty. The United States condemned Germany to deindustrialize themselves, and now they realize how much they fucked up. And they now walking. Oh no, we're gonna invest more in nuclear energy now. They realize that they would let off a cliff. And the leaders of Europe does not represent the interests of their people. This is capitalist dictatorship. You guys realize this? In Germany, there are polls that show 70% of the German people are against them supporting the United States in their war efforts against Iran. The majority of the German people are opposed to their government support of the genocide in Gaza. Do they have an option to vote that away? They don't. Do we have an option to vote that away in the United States? No, you have two capitalist imperialist parties. That's why the dipshit social democrat left, they drive me fucking crazy. Because people like Zoran Mamdani, he will say that Venezuela don't have a functioning democracy, that they engage in political repression. And when you hear AOC and Zoran Mamdani say stuff like that, they are implying that Russia, Iran, Venezuela, their democracies fail to reach the standards that is achieved in the West. That is what they're implying. But we have no democracy. We are a rank capitalist, authoritarian, fascist state. That was a word salad. I think you just say fascist.
The two greatest democracies in the world have started World War III.
Yeah.
Seems like liberalism has failed.
And I will continue to be on their necks on this. I am not going to allow the Western left to have a shitty-ass foreign policy. And their foreign policy is horrible. The foreign policy of Zohran Mamdani, Bernie Sanders. You know, Zohran Mamdani, his wife, and I'm sure he did by extension, they supported the head choppers in Syria.
Yeah.
You had fucking Dr. Cornel West talking about how we got to stand with the Mossad color revolution. Enough is enough. Enough of the dipshit left and their dipshit foreign policy that is suitable for the CIA. Because you want to know who Dr. Cornel West and Zohran Mamdani not criticizing? You want to know who they're not calling an authoritarian, oppressive state? When have you ever seen Zohran Mamdani and AOC criticize Australia? As Zohran Mamdani throw Cuba under the bus, as he attacks Venezuela, as AOC and every single member of the progressive left spreads lies about the Iranian regime killing 90,000 people. Don't you know that the Iranian regime is responsible for 6 million dead Iranians?
I heard it was 8 billion, but I mean, I will take it if it's 6 million.
The number is still climbing. The number is climbing every single day. Oh, sorry, I'm kind of belaboring the point here. But look at this headline here, showing the fascism of the West. An 18-year-old woman in Queensland, I believe that's in Australia, faces 2 years for wearing a shirt that says "From the river to the sea." And this is a child. Like I'm in my 30s. She's like a baby to me. Like this is a baby that they're locking up for 2 years for having a conscience. But will you ever see Zohran Mamdani, AOC, and the NATO left? Will they ever condemn this? No, they're too busy condemning Cuba. Remember when Zohran said Cuba is undemocratic? We got to stand with the Iranian people in their uprisings. Meanwhile, crickets on this level. This if you can't tell by the tone of my voice, this infuriates me to a level I can't even describe. But Rathbone, what any other thoughts? And we can read some super chat.
I mean, look, she didn't specify which river or which sea. It could have been the Mississippi to the Caribbean. I mean,
yeah, I think that could be a decent legal defense if they wasn't living under fascism.
From the river to the sea, what? I mean, it just says that's a incomplete phrase, right? It doesn't. There's no verbs. We didn't say anything. We didn't commit violence. It's just a phrase. Yeah, it's a pretty despicable story.
Yeah. So let's wrap up with some super chats, and then I'll let you go. I think there was a fun conversation. We're definitely gonna do this again.
Absolutely, friend.
Where did I leave off? Did I read this one?
Oh,
yeah, I did. When I read this one, I think I left off. The other thing is antiseptic.
Anti-symmetric too.
Rathbone, think about what they're actually saying. We broke down the synonyms of that, but what are they saying? Like that's one of the craziest things. So being intellectual, like understanding geopolitics, they want a dumb goyim. They want dumb goys who have no idea what's going on. Hey, Nick, you're not allowed to mention that one single Jew owns almost every single significant part of our media, like CBS, CNN. Isn't he about to get Netflix? The Adelson motherfucker. You're not allowed to talk about Miriam Elderson and her influence on politics. Not allowed to talk about AIPAC.
Miriam Anal.
You're anti-Semitic if you're not dumb. But go ahead, Rathbone.
No, you're right. I didn't have anything to say. I was just saying Miriam Anal Lube is what I call her.
I always struggle with her name, but fuck her. I always struggle with that. Elderson, what the fuck? Stupid ass name. He is not dead. Yeah, I think this is a reference to Epstein. I was saying that years ago. Look at my tweet. Years ago, like, bro, there's no fucking way, bro. I know, like, there was a documentary I watched a while ago. I don't remember exactly the context, but because it was like 10 years ago. Because I did a lot of work with prison abolition, studying how people are treated in prisons. Like, you know, me and my friend Zoya, we co-founded 10 Demands. And one thing I learned, because there was a documentary that explained how they treated people on suicide watch. They explained how essentially physically impossible, especially at the particular facility that Epstein was at, to commit suicide. If you're on my channel, you heard me explain this many times before, but you are like surrounded in paper. You had a short ceiling. There is no physical way a human can hang themselves. So even before the Epstein files, way before that, the story they told you guys was bullshit. And on top of that, they said the cameras was down. The guard took a fucking unauthorized lunch break when he died. Come on, man. We didn't need the Epstein files to know that he didn't kill himself. Because Rathbone, if he did kill himself, you understand that he accomplished a modern miracle of science? Like, wouldn't we have to study that? Because the reason why, we put them in a short ceiling with paper is because it's supposed to be physically impossible to hang yourself. So if he proved that scientific theory wrong, shouldn't we have analyzed like how that happened, how he was able to kill himself in this situation, so we can adjust our protocols? Nope, they had no interest in any of that.
Yep, there's a lot of inconsistencies in that autopsy report too. Apparently, he broke some thyroid bone in his neck that is not supposed to break in a hanging. It's only through you have to be like brute forced, like in order to break this bone, supposedly. And then also, the body that was autopsied had a prostate, an enlarged prostate, and it came out in the Epstein files that Epstein didn't have a prostate. He had it removed, allegedly. He had a prostatectomy or some prostatectomy, something like that. So I don't know. Pretty strange.
It's just wild how they don't have to try no more.
They really don't. They just
what are you gonna fucking do? What are you gonna do? Uprise against us? What are you gonna do? They don't give a fuck. I tried to lower my mic earlier. I don't know if that worked because I saw this comment. I tried to lower it, but hopefully you guys
tell the Duchess to shut the fuck up. All right, we don't want to hear that bullshit. We're doing great here. Everything's fine.
I hope you guys enjoy the show. That's the only thing I care about. I know we got a little.
No, I know Duchess. I was just giving the Duchess a hard time.
Yeah, thank you for the super chat. XX Deuce, CNN and Fox News announcing Israel is getting bombed by Iran and Hezbollah simultaneously. Yep. Al Jazeera says Netanyahu is currently missing. I gotta be careful
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, feel free to interrupt any time. But Netanyahu hasn't been seen recently. I don't want to report on anything without confirmation.
Right.
Maybe he injured. Maybe they don't want, like, the public in Israel is already on edge. So if they seeing top leaders being executed, information control is probably one of the most important parts of war. That has been known for centuries. Controlling the flow of information. I think it's possible. They got BB. I heard that BB was in like helicopters and flying in the air.
Yep.
The majority of his days.
Yep.
Just to avoid from being sniped.
Yep.
What a
suitable.
I was about to say what a suitable existence for Netanyahu to be constantly paranoid, to be constantly in the air. Maybe I don't know. Maybe they're just psychopaths and they don't give a fuck. But to me, that sounds horrible. Like the idea that at any motherfucking time, Iran might fuck you up. At any motherfucking time, if you cross the wrong international waters, you might get snatched up and tried for war crimes. I don't know. I think it's cope. I think it's cope by me. Maybe, but I think he's suffering. They have to.
I think you're right though. He's got to be anxious. He's the number one target in the world right now. I mean, there's just no other way to put it.
Didn't his brother somebody get smoked?
Allegedly, I was going to bring that up too. Is that his brother was, allegedly, this is what we're hearing. It's hard to really confirm anything right now because Israel has an ironclad media blackout, and you can be put in jail for 5 years if you, as an Israeli citizen, film anything about what's going on, whether it's footage of the strikes or footage of the damage. So they have got it clamped down pretty good. But it is being reported that his brother, Netanyahu's brother, was killed in an airstrike, and Netanyahu's home was targeted as well. And I was actually going to ask you this, Nick, because we thought for a few days, there's rumors that Ben Gvir was killed. That also the head of the Mossad, David Barnea, is allegedly, that's apparently true, that he was targeted and killed. But with Ben Gvir, we saw this video that he shared like a few days after the rumors were flying about his death, and it's a really strange video, and he says something to the effect of, I'm still alive. Blessed be the Lord. Go fuck yourselves. And it looks like an AI video. I don't know. But a lot of people are saying that it's AI. I mean, who knows at this point? But it's pretty strange. But I was going to ask you if you think that Ben Gvir got the the dirt nap that he deserves.
There's no official confirmation of that.
Yeah.
I'm praying for that to be true. There's the reason why that spread like wildfire. There was a lot of X accounts who, as I mentioned earlier, they're just saying shit. So right now there's not any official reports on that. All the tweets I've seen, I try to verify it. I try to look at different like Hebrew sources. I didn't see anything on this, but it's always possible. We got to say it's always possible that they can steal information. It's possible, but once again, in the fog of war, we gotta be careful. And
sure,
I think a lot of people are a little bit too loose with that. I think we gotta be careful. Yeah. It'll be great if Ben Gvir gets smoked though.
Yeah,
a lot of super chats. I think a lot of people enjoy this collaboration. A lot of showing for the super chats, and I appreciate you guys. I appreciate this one. Base collab, absolutely. Love you guys. What a match. Thanks for being here. Thank you for the 199 Shantown. New sub and donation for Rathbone stream. You guys are killing it over there. You're funny, on point. I'm into the end. Thank you for the support.
Nice.
The case of worst fire ant is hilarious. Thanks for the 199, Michael. Thanks for the great stream. Had to take a social media break because the news of West Asia was messing with my mind. Yeah, the only reason I go on this stream to try to make it somewhat entertaining and funny is because that's the only way I'm able to cope with this shit. like this is almost like my therapy in a way. I try to educate you guys.
Yeah,
I try to educate you guys, let you guys know what the Marxist anti-imperialist perspective on current events. But at the same time, we gotta we have to be aware of what's going on, but we can't be consumed by dread. And that's the only way I can go through it and cover this kind of stuff. If you're not forced to cover this like me and Rathbone, it's a good idea to probably take breaks every once in a while, like this person. So Iran news brought me back. Yeah. The whole world is monitoring the situation.
Man was not meant to monitor these many situations.
They're like, Nick, what do you do during World War III? I'm like, I monitor the fuck out of that situation. I'm telling my grandkids, like, y'all was there monitoring like a motherfucker.
Grandpa, what did you do in the Epstein Wars? I was monitoring the situation.
Yeah. Here's a solidarity super chat. Thank you, Manor Gone Tones.
Mango Tones.
Mango Tones, sorry, yeah, Mango Tones.
I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce it, so I make up.
Oh no, you guys, your names are wild, man. Saw pics of children burning in white phosphor 10 years ago, burned in my memory. Yes.
Yeah.
It's one of the worst ways to go, and they do it to children all the time in Israel. So I'm glad people are starting to wake up to the level of anger I'm at. Here's another super
so base, Nick. I love seeing your content. I mainly see more of your content on Twitter, and just seeing the stuff that you post and the stuff you write is just it's like that's my guy right there. That's my spirit animal right there.
Yeah, you guys know Rathbone's a homie. You guys are killing it on YouTube. You guys are killing it with your streams, especially your shorts. So you guys know I'm a big fan of Rathbone as well, and we definitely got to do these collaborations more often.
Not only my shorts, but also my pants. My pants are great too.
Yeah, I appreciate the comment, man. X is popping. I'm working on YouTube, but X is popping. Like I'll be like there's so much going on, bro. I don't want to be watching. I don't barely follow any fiction. Like I watch like some fights every once in a while. I have friends who are like into wrestling. I watch wrestling with them every once in a while. But it's like the world, just watching what's going on in the world. Like I got constant thoughts. And that's what my ex account is mostly me making jokes and me I'll read articles. I'll read like 7 to 10 articles a day. I'll probably have sum up an article I read, or maybe joke and laugh. I think a lot of people take X way too fucking seriously. Like I got 180,000 followers. I still don't know how the fuck that happened because I never gave a fuck. I would just tweet shit. I didn't give a fuck if people like it or not. but they tend to do pretty well. I have fun on X, for sure.
And also, I just want to say, for those of us that are here that don't know Nick, please follow this guy because
I appreciate it, man.
He's on like he's facing the same battle that I'm facing, that we're all sort of facing, and he's on his third. I think it's your third or fourth YouTube page now. You're constantly facing censorship, and I think you're almost to 10K on this new page. And
bro, I've been grinding.
Hopefully, we can give you a boost, and
I appreciate you, man.
You do. He does great work, and he's another homie, another comrade, another brother in arms in the trenches, fighting the good fight. So give him a follow.
Yeah, I take this very seriously. Like, we need to have a intellectual left. I'm tired of the stupid dipshit left. You know what I mean? And I noticed this when I was on the Bernie campaign. Like, I was that guy who tried to fuck. Like, when I was younger, I was like, oh, these old gray hair leftists, they surely know what they're doing. Let me follow them. And then I kept seeing them make mistake after mistake. They would say shit I think was cringe. Like, I remember on the Bernie campaign, they were getting mad at me because I was going after Elizabeth Warren, for example. And they were like, Nick, you can't go after Elizabeth Warren. I'm like, oh my God, dude. I'm tired of this left. So I've just been trying to find a way for us to strategize outside of electoralism and reject the CIA left narratives, especially about foreign policy. So if you guys want, I try to provide that kind of content on my channel for sure. We got 2 more super chats here. We will begin to wrap up. Kanye noticed and were persecuted for it.
No comment.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say Kanye noticed shit, bro. You don't. Let me try and formulate this stuff. You don't notice shit and praise Hitler. You know what I mean? If you praise Hitler, you're not noticing shit. Yeah. You guys know that Hitler, and my brother Nico did an amazing hotspot about this. It was maybe a year or two ago, and this hotspot went platinum viral, like on every single social media, because Nico explained how Hitler cut deals with Zionists because Zionists is inherently an anti-Semitic movement because they wanted Jews out of Europe.
Yeah.
So if you think the question, or the solution to the Jewish question is fascism, you're not noticing shit. You're a stupid ass goy cattle. You understand? If you're a capitalist, if you're upholding the systems of oppression that enable Jewish supremacy, like the fascism of the Nazis, you are not noticing shit. What's the first thing? We can end the stream on one last rant. What's the first thing that Hitler did when he took power? For all these dipshits who idolize Hitler, the first thing he did was ban collective bargaining rights and the right to unionize.
Yep.
You guys think that person who would give all the power to Jewish capitalists to exploit labor, like the Nazi Party believed, do you think this person was actually challenging the elites and the power of Jewish supremacy? He absolutely not. And I've been begging, and all these cowards been running. I have been begging Nick Fuentes. I have been begging all these Hitlerites to debate me on this. If you guys see me on X, I will go in their threads where they are praising Hitler. I even went after Jake Shields. You guys know I had a conversation with Jake Shields. Yeah. I ratioed him over this. Guys, stop praising Hitler. That shit is not based. He's a fucking cuck who lost millions of his own people fighting a war of imperialism that wasn't even about replacing Jewish supremacy. He was killing communists in Russia. That was his number one concern, killing the communists. I end the rant there. I can talk about, like, the Hitler praising. That to me is immediate red line, bro. That you're fucked in the head if you're praising that. You guys realize people are like, don't you know what happened to Dresden? Like, bro, this is the responsibility of Hitler. He led his people into a war of choice. He led his people into a war and caused millions of his own people to die. And I'm not even touching on the humanitarian crises that he caused and all the pain and suffering, just on a practical level. And you see how even removing morality from it, Hitler is just objectively a horrible leader. I'm not attacking that person who led the super chat. I'm just telling you guys, if you go down the route of being a fascist, you're not noticing shit. That's the only thing I will say. Two more I see here. Notice who owns the media. There are a lot of Irish people who own the media too. That's what a lot of people say when they respond like that. And they serve the interests of Zionists too. Okay, doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah, Irish controls a large part of media, but they follow Zionist narrative. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Thank you for the super sticker here. Rathbone, great stream. It was great having you on.
Likewise.
What you got coming up? Anything you want to plug and promote? I'll be in contact. I know both our schedules are crazy, but I'll be in contact and we definitely gotta do a follow-up. I think this is like Nick and Rathbone season 2 because we did like a trial run late last year. So I think this would be like Nick and Rathbone season 2.
The series got renewed from our Zionist payroll. So that's thank you.
Yeah, we had a little holiday break. We had a little break at the beginning of the year.
I'd love to do a more a weekly thing, as we were talking about. If I know sometimes shit happens, but
I'm still down for that.
It's cool. I think Wednesdays are cool to do a collab, if it's cool with you. But yeah, no, I appreciate it. Thank you for having me on. It's always a pleasure to talk with you. You're eternally based, and we support you all every step of the way, Nick.
Yeah, same here. And I like that idea. So Nick and Rathbone season 2. This is the first episode. We had our pilot season. I think we did like 3-4 shows.
Yeah,
in the last year. So that was season 1. This is season 2. I had a great time doing the show. Make sure you guys follow Rathbone. Support my labor on Patreon. I have a hotspot video I will be releasing tomorrow. You guys know I'm always in the lab cooking. Rathbone's always in the lab cooking, especially at night as well. So make sure you guys support the homie. Take care, guys.